I was gonna ask you.
That's a problem. His wife is also.
All right, we'll go ahead and call
I know,
the
but still.
council session, and we can everybody stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Megan Clark,
Here.
Bob Cook. Here. Stephen Kaufman.
Here.
Holly Meredith.
Here.
Gary Meehan.
Here.
Joyce Misnick.
Here.
Additions or corrections to the agenda, we're going to talk about some infrastructure information under new business. Anything else? Okay. Review and approval of minutes of March 17th, the regular council meeting.
I move we approve the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Okay, roll call.
Megan Clark.
Yeah.
Bob Cook.
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman.
Yes.
Holly Meredith.
Yeah.
Gary Meehan.
Yes.
Joyce Misnick.
Yeah.
Okay, visitor comments. Okay. Administrative staff reports, the mayor's report, council you have in front of you. We'll read it. I want to start by acknowledging that many of our residents are understandably concerned about our village infrastructure. These systems, our water, sewer, and electrical services are essential to daily life. And when there are problems, it affects everyone. Please know that your concerns are heard and taken seriously. Our water and sewer infrastructure is aging, and for many years, there was no capital improvement fee in place to help prepare for those costs of maintaining and replacing these systems. While that has created challenges today, we are now focused on thoughtful, responsible planning to ensure these services remain safe and reliable for the long term. I also want to reassure everyone that our village employees and staff are working very hard and with genuine dedication to addressing these issues. Frustration is completely understandable, but I ask that we remember the people behind the work, people who live here, care about this community, and are doing their best every day on your behalf. Electrical reliability is another concern many of you have raised. Recent outages have most often been caused by factors such as fallen trees or weather-related issues. To move towards solutions, I have scheduled a meeting with the representative from the electric utility company to discuss what improvements may be possible, both on their side and through actions the village can take. While these issues were not created overnight and cannot be solved overnight, please be assured that we are moving forward thoughtfully, collaboratively, and with the best interest of our residents in mind. By working together and continuing open communication, we can make steady progress and strengthen our village for the future. On a note to the water shut off yesterday, perfect example of communication from our residents. They noticed that the water was coming up out of the vault and called it in. Without the people being active within the community as well, we're all kind of blind. So we all see certain areas that we drive every day, and they see certain areas that they drive every day. So that communication has to be both ways in just about everything that we do. So, and if there's anything that the community feels that we can be making it easier, please reach out to your councilman or women and let us know. Thank you. Sorry I didn't have that on the end there. Okay. Treasurer's report,
No report.
Administrator's report.
Submitted in your packets pending any questions. Just would like to touch on what Dwayne said and thank the staff we had yesterday. They ended up working a 16-hour shift to ensure that that 9-inch water line was repaired for the village by 11:45 last night. So I'd like to thank them for their dedication, and also the residents that were kind enough to stop and drop off beverages and a pizza so that they were fed efficiently for the night. So thank you to those that were kind enough.
I want to just say thank you for the overtime sheet that you guys prepared, the administration prepared for March. I'm not seeing anything that is glaring there. I'm glad that we're keeping track of it, and I'm sure that we're going to have some 16-hour, 18-hour, 20-hour, 24-hour fees this coming month, but understand. So
That'll be a report you guys get at the first meeting of the month every time.
thank you.
So just so you're aware, to touch on that, Holly, I did work with the team on the flex hours, which I'm allowed per the employee manual. And I gave 2 of those employees the day off today. So we still had a staff down at the plant, but we did shave that overtime by over 16 hours total.
Nice. Nice. Thank you.
Question on that pipe situation, Dwayne, and just knowledge. That happened at the, just at the shoreline, correct? Basically,
Pretty close, within, I'd say 12 feet. What'd you say, Mark?
Yes,
okay?
yes.
I assume pipes have fittings and they're not straight pipes. What about our pipes that are 60 years old going under the water?
So, Council, everybody received the pictures that I sent?
Yes.
So in one of the pictures, you'll notice a valve and then a strainer. Attached before the strainer outside of the vault was a cable that went through and interlocked onto the vault that is basically acting as a thrust lock, okay? What that does is prevent the pipes from moving one way or the other. And the fitting that actually let loose was on the opposite side of where that cable was. So why it happened, knowing that it is a through valve, is kind of, I don't know.
Okay, but I guess I just gotta ask this question. Is it potential possible that through shifting and wear and
I will say anything is possible.
how do you fix something under the lake?
Rigor.
And that would keep us down as a community. Half of our community would be down from water for.
So that-
If we went that route, we would look at replacing two or three valves prior to that, so that we can isolate just that section. 'Cause right now,
Those valves are an exercise.
they are, but they're not seating fully. So at that point, they're old. I mean, they're 60 years old. So when you look at that aspect of it, they're probably at that time of replacing.
Should we be looking at, I know the committee years ago looked at the potential of replacing those valves on the east side of the lake, which are the oldest and also have had the most problems today. Okay? So that we don't have half of a community or a quarter of a community without water.
That'll be a step process that I'll be having a conversation with Mark and the guys down there.
Thank you.
For that,
Okay.
So a strong answer for that too, to add on, is the fact that the line that runs through the lake is a loop line. So we're adding another loop across the dam with the new water project. Therefore, we would have another line running through to make sure that we're supplying the lake. And we did have to shut down the water yesterday. That's why half the lake did lose, because to work on that line, which was before going into the lake, we had to shut down the pressure to be able to add the fittings. So even if it broke inside the lake, we wouldn't even know it unless we started reducing in pressure And we will have another loop as well in the near future.
Or the water exceed going up tremendously.
Correct.
And if you look at the spray that was coming in the video, you're talking about probably 500 gallons a minute coming out of that leak right there. So, in the other video, you'll see the flow that comes over the side of the vault. So when you actually look in the vault, you can barely see any turbulence at all. So now you take that down another 10 feet in the water, you have no idea. So, and a lot of times that's why they've changed to go with a solid pipe from one end to the other, so you don't have those fittings in the middle.
When you were saying seating, you mean like it's not setting back down in where it needs to? Or
Yeah,
is
so-
there some other term that I don't know?
So basically, it's a ball valve, okay? So when it goes to close, there's already debris that has built up along that seat, so that when it comes back, it's not allowing it to close completely. So
It is decayed enough
that it is correct.
the seats don't function.
Correct.
Yep.
When was this
Uh,
discussed about mid part of the lake?
Joe Jenkins.
Pardon?
Joe Jenkins.
Sugar Creek.
Sugar Creek Cove.
Pardon?
Sugar Creek Cove.
Sugar Creek Cove? Was it across city water? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Mark, thanks for the report. Solicitor's report?
Nothing new from what we talked about in the council work session, but I did notice as part of the zoning report, there was some discussion with regard to having alternates for the BZA team. That is not a possibility because those are appointed positions. So I'll just suggest that Dwayne and Mark and Dave have a conversation about administratively on who can and can't be at certain things. If duties can't be fulfilled, we have to find the members that can be there. Because if there are numerous matters, you don't want more than 3 to 4 matters at any given BZA meeting piling up, you know what I mean? So it's important to have those. So I just noticed that, otherwise I would have brought it up at work session. So just suggestions. Nothing else, thanks.
Police chief?
Next meeting.
Committee, commission reports, finance committee, next month. Public works,
Our next meeting will be on 5/1/26 at 5 PM.
5/1, you said, Mark?
Correct, 5/1.
Okay, just so everybody is aware, last Friday, we did have a public works meeting, that, prior to the meeting, I got a phone call from Joe Milano, that he was not gonna be able to attend, but other than that, nobody else, was there. Or called,
When was this?
that was on Friday,
When?
last Friday.
Nobody notified me. Because I don't get messages from,
I put it out.
I didn't know anything about it.
It's on the website. It's on the website and it's in the packets and it's in.
So
It's
we
on the
need to
calendar.
get those on calendars because staff doesn't call us to tell us when we show up for meetings.
Mark, can you make sure that that's addressed?
I will check the calendar to verify.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Planning commission,
So planning did meet recently. I'll let Joyce talk on that, but I did want to announce the next meeting will be on 5/27/26 at 7 PM.
You said 7 PM?
Yes, 7 PM. It's 5/27/26, 7 PM. I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Meeting in April, 22nd?
Yeah, yes, we are.
We're gonna meet then too.
We have all kinds of meetings for planning.
You got 5 on mine.
That's okay.
When's your planning?
So it's the 4th Wednesday of the month. 7 PM. So we are, I brought it up in the work session. So we are we've wrapped up the building and we are starting the zoning, but we are going to come back with a proposal on how we can move forward with the maintenance code, the building code, and the zoning code separately, because trying to hold all of them and get them all updated and approved once is actually difficult. So we'll come back with a proposal on how to do that. But we are starting on the zoning code.
Thanks, Joyce. Records Commission,
Have not met for 26 yet.
Special Committee Liaison Reports, Holly, RA.
No report, although I'll be interested to learn more about what the AFU discussion is over there. And we are having our annual meeting in this building on the 26th, if that's ASAP.
25th. I think it's 25th.
25th,
What time?
10 a.m.
Okay, Ed did send over the SCAD report. Okay, legislation. Ordinance 2026-03-06, an ordinance amending codified ordinance 111.01, governing council rules and council meetings and not declaring an emergency. It's in its second reading.
I move to waive the last reading.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Meredith,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Misnet,
Yes.
Move we act.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Meredith,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Misnet,
Yes.
And Dwayne, just now that that's passed for council, next meeting, the agenda will be the same, and but for May, we can update the agenda based on the new council rules and make changes.
Sorry. B, ordinance 2026-04, -01, ordinance amending ordinance numbers 2025-03-02, 871-04-2023, and 853-11-2022, and all prior ordinances or resolutions that may be in conflict to adjustment permanent water, sewer, and AFU rates previously increased by ordinance 801-09-2021, said rates due to sunset on June 30th, 2023, and changing the same to monthly billing and declaring an emergency. Mark, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Absolutely. So the only changes we had is a verbiage change. In the past, the village went to a month-to-month billing basis. The AFU charges in the ordinance had not been updated just to reflect that verbiage. So this is just updating the verbiage that residents are charged for the month-to-month basis on water and sewer for their AFU, which is available for use charges.
And I'll recommend when Mark comes back, if we have to revisit this on the next ordinance, we don't have all those ordinance numbers contained in this one. We were using that because format-wise, that's how we were doing it in the past. Now that we've changed our codification procedure, we don't need to keep reflecting backward to ordinance numbers like that anymore. But for this one, we kind of had to do it. For the next one, we'll clean it up. So Dwayne doesn't have to read so much.
That's right.
And since this was just some verbiage, I move that we waive the 3 reading rule.
I second it.
Any discussion?
Yeah, the only, is it still, are we still back to sunsetting this in the past? Or did we eliminate that at some point? It says it's due to sunset on June 30th, 2023.
That's just a past ordinance like Chris just mentioned. It was
Okay.
a previous ordinance.
Okay, thank you. No further.
Okay, roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Missnack.
Yes.
I motion we act.
You'll need to declare an emergency
Oh.
first.
I motion to declare an emergency.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Missnack.
Yes.
Can I motion to act now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Missnack.
Yes.
Thank you all.
All right, C, resolution 2026-04-02R. Resolution authorizing the village administrator and or mayor to submit a reimbursement request under the Ohio EPA Condition Assessment Program grant through a professional services agreement with Verdantis Incorporated and declaring an emergency. It's in its first reading.
I motion that we waive the last reading.
No, all
Wait,
readings.
all the readings, sorry. All the readings.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just for the record, for the residents, just in case they're watching or they're reading this in the paper coming up. So the EPA, we applied for a $20,000 grant through the EPA. We were awarded that. We will be using the funds to identify our sewer and water lines with a professional company so that we can verify on our maps within a 6-foot radius of all of our lines, which will improve our grant opportunities in the future. So just wanted that on the record so that everybody knows.
Roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Missnack.
Yes.
Move to declare an emergency.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Missnack.
Yes.
Move to act.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Missnack.
Yes.
Thank you all.
All right, E, ordinance number 2026-04-03R. Resolution declaring a vehicle surplus and equipment and authorizing the village administrator and or mayor to sell or otherwise dispose of said vehicles and equipment in manner prescribed by law and declaring an emergency.
I would like to move to amend this, removing item number, I think it's gonna be 5. The 4 machines.
No, that's number 6.
Number 6 on this, okay, I'm looking at the actual list we got today. So the 4 machine,
I'm thinking that we should take this back, discuss it with Dwayne, and then come back with a list that you two have gone over with to council. That's what I'm proposing.
I made a motion. and
I'll
I'd
second
like
the
a
motion to move the 6, to remove number 6. Now we can
Do-
discuss.
Now, can we
Now you
discuss?
can just.
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no,
I'm sorry, I
that was
thought
your
you could-
Motion second, now you guys can discuss.
Okay.
I think that we tossed this around enough that, I think that staff understands now what we're thinking, and Dwayne was heard.
I think there should be a better vision, and we talked about it for 15 minutes, and I think we should have a paper and say, yes, they talked it together. Okay, I agree with them.
And the reality is that Dwayne and Mark have administrative meetings all the time. This is a thing that they should be talking about, but we as a council should have looked this over and should give back the rights now to Mark to do his job.
So Dwayne, did you talk this out over with Mark before you sent this to us?
The list, no.
So therefore, I think you two should go back and talk the list out together and then bring it back to council.
We have a motion on the floor.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Motion is to amend, call a question.
Second.
We already got that.
Yeah,
It's
roll call.
just a roll call for the amendment.
Roll call?
Megan Clark,
No,
Bob Cook,
We're talking about the.
amendment. And then
Moving
just,
to six.
Everything just.
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marinet,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Misnick.
Yes.
Call to act.
Well, you have a,
Waive
well,
the,
emergency on 3 readings if you approve.
move to waive the 3 reading rule.
so,
Sorry,
And then Joyce.
Second.
and then discussion.
Any discussion?
so we're moving to this list to say it's okay. Is that what we're doing as council?
Number 6.
Oh, no, I'm saying the whole list. Right now, we're talking about the whole list. Is that
No,
what?
minus.
We voted to remove number 6, the boring machine. Now we're voting to waive the 3 reading rule.
Oh, okay.
Roll call?
Megan Clark,
Yeah.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman.
Yeah.
Holly Marinet,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Misnick.
Yes.
I move to declare this an emergency.
Second.
Any discussion? And roll call.
Megan Clark.
Yeah.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marinet,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Misnick.
Yes.
Move to act.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Megan Clark,
This is to move, this is to,
To approve it, final approval.
If you don't agree with it, you should say no. If you
no.
Bob Cook,
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
agree- Yes.
Holly Marinet,
Yes.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Joyce Misnick.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, before we move away from ordinances, it came to my attention after the last couple of newspaper articles that it looks like we just rushed through everything and we waived everything. Wonder if you or the solicitor could just talk a little bit about why we do this process and what the Ohio Revised Code is requiring of us.
Sure, so, which one do you want first? So, the waiver of 3 readings under revised code requires, 5 of a 6-member council to waive the 3 reading requirements, meaning any ordinance or resolution presented to a council, requires you to read it at 3 separate readings. Often councils have deadlines for grant funding, for passing things, or when they want things to occur, hiring employees, things like Mark indicated with the small minor changes with regard to verbiage that was caught, things that don't need to be belabored, I guess, for numerous meetings of discussion. Councils waive that 3 readings just so you don't have to wait 2 months sometimes to get something passed that's otherwise a thing that's normal. As a solicitor, I don't recommend the waiving of 3 readings for things like code changes, zoning amendments, like we talked about property maintenance and building, Joyce was talking about. Those are things you would read 3 times to give the public a chance to comment on, and then probably have a public hearing separately in addition to those. So those are normal procedures. So waiving the 3 readings is simply a speed tactic because you're at a deadline or that really is just something that is in the normal course of business, but needs to be reviewed and passed by council. Declaring an emergency is a little bit more complicated of a discussion because declaring an emergency simply means that you want whatever you're voting on to take effect immediately. If you don't declare an emergency, the law that you're passing or the resolution or the ordinance does not take actual legal effect for 30 days from the date you pass it. So declaring an emergency, for example, on Mark's situation tonight with regard to the money being received, if you did not declare an emergency, he would not be able to accept and take that money until 30 days from today's date, which is kind of a dumb thing not to waive, because an emergency is deemed to be for the peace, safety, and welfare of the village and its residents. Now, that's a very vague way to put things, but if you think about it logically, peace, safety, and welfare for a project to improve your infrastructure and sewer and things like that is for your public. So declaring an emergency is just simply you wanting to have it passed. Not always, the public seems to think sometimes that it's an emergency, that you're just cramming something down their throat. That's not what's happening. If you're declaring an emergency, you say, we need this now so we can keep protecting your services. If you'll notice on a zoning amendment or a code change, a major code change like that, it never says emergency. It says not declaring an emergency, because that's you telling the public, we want you to weigh in if there's an issue, and then having to read it. So declaring an emergency only requires 4 of you to declare an emergency on a 6-panel council. And that's of the elected members, not the members present, to waive those 2 type of separate things. So their normal course of business typically is kind of, you look to the solicitor on what you think, whether the administrator needs it or the mayor needs it that quickly. And then the other thing is that with requirements on resolutions, ordinances, you see the differences between the two. Typically, if I think as your solicitor something is extending beyond 1 year, I'm always going to tell you to do an ordinance. When you're extending beyond or code changes like zoning code and language changes for your codified, those should be ordinances. When you're giving Mark or Dwayne or the fiscal officer or the solicitor directive to do something or accept monies on your behalf, that's a resolution, because you're doing that immediately. It's a one-time thing. It's not something being codified into your laws. So that's the only difference between those 2 types of situations.
Thank
But I know it's a lot of legalese.
It's important.
Yeah. And I'm free to talk to anybody. If they come to meetings to explain the differences. I know it's always scary when you see emergencies like councils are trying to cram something down. It's more for, hey, we've got deadlines, and unfortunately you guys can't meet every week of the day or every week of the month. So yeah. Thank you.
Old business? Mark, you know what the status is on the mics?
On the lights, for
Mics.
they're working.
Yeah, but
I haven't heard
know
anything.
if they're being picked up by?
Yeah, so before, when they were not working, we still had audio on the YouTube. All that the mics do is project in this room. The mics, everything was still being picked up on the video.
I will say, when I was doing the minutes, I had the video from the last meeting, and it was pretty clear.
I would like to just mention to council, I did send an email out. Please do not touch the buttons on the mics. I've taped over them so you don't have the want to do it. And I sent a PowerPoint on step-by-step how to use the computer and the sound system in case you guys have meetings on Saturdays and you want to use the system and everything. So you guys do have that, and I also have a copy of the PowerPoint right here for future reference.
And are you hearing the projection of any voices out there?
New business regarding infrastructure. How do you want it to?
Yeah, I thank you for your message, Mr. Mayor. I'm hard pressed to understand the electrical problems. And I saw a lot of things on Facebook, like people should be trimming their trees and doing things. I'm glad you're going to meet with the illuminating company, but if there's something that we need to support you on. I hope you're taking staff with you. And I hope you're raising all of the issues that came up in the last few weeks. It's just been kind of nuts.
Yeah, so,
Unacceptable.
and I think everybody in this room will attest to that, being that it is unacceptable. So as far as the meeting, I have, Wendy Zell.
Correct.
Okay, she's our rep from the illuminating company that we will be meeting with. Myself, I have asked Joyce to attend, Mark to attend, and then I do have a resident by the name of Ben Fraser that has been impacted on every single one of these over the last 3 months. So, so we will have a resident there, at least hearing what she has to say firsthand as well. So once we get kind of a game plan, then Wendy has agreed to come back to council and kind of go over some of the things that they've noticed. If there is anything, she asked for some residents' addresses. The ones that I did give, Mark, help me out here. Myself,
Mostly residential locations on the east side. As of the last few months, that's where we've been impacted the most. We do have 3 different electrical grids that come into the lake community, but that seems to be the most often impacted area.
so addresses wise, Jenny's was one, mine, Joyce, and then
Feel free to use mine.
I didn't think I'd have a problem with using anybody, but that's probably our biggest impact area as far as where we're seeing the hits. So that's what she wanted. That's what I gave her. And she knows there's problems. It's just what can we do together to make it happen? Because the comments that you're referring to, Holly, as far as trimming, that's a big part of it. 100%. You know, a lot of vacant lots have trees that are leaning, they're dead, limbs that are hanging. So, you know, it might be something that we as the council have to look at as well on our behalf. So,
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
I meant, when I saw this happen, I sent a note over to the other side of my house, to my wife, who's working on the Building and Maintenance Committee, and asked her to look at the possibility of them not only doing dead trees on the lake, which is now part of their Building and Maintenance guidelines, but also dead trees on the property. They have the right to require their residents legally to do something about it. I'm not sure, and this is where I'll defer to our counselor, that we have the right to tell a person to take a tree down. Do you think we do?
Typically you do. You
If it's
usually
not-
mark it.
If it's not hanging over the wires? See, that's where a lot of these trees are 20 feet away and falling into wires.
Well, and Dwayne's right. Some of them are empty lots. I mean, they may be abandoned lots, for lack of a better conversation.
Any utility interference or sidewalk or road destruction, you have municipal and home authorities to do certain things like that, and with proper notices and things, but typically you just don't want that tree gone, you know what I mean, if it's not really causing a nuisance for the village. But utilities are usually the number one thing where you see that happen, or sidewalks,
So,
ditches maybe.
so one of the things that I know has changed, they used to do a 10-foot alley. So from the ground up past the wires, it used to be just a clear cut 10 feet on each side. Okay. They have since changed their aspect of what they do now. It is now a 10-foot around the wires themselves. So anything that goes up and over past that 10-foot circumference,
Still good, but
it's up and over. They're not going to address it. They push it onto the homeowner or the property owner to address. So that's something that there's a lot of them in here that exceed that. So.
Dwayne, I would say one thing, being an electrician, I would not trim trees along the power lines personally.
Oh, yeah.
That should be the utilities department, not the homeowner.
So if I may, I just want to let everybody know that I did have a meeting with First Energy last year with the prior administration. These concerns were brought up then too. The big concern when they did their evaluation last year was a good number of the residents have a lot of overgrowth trees in their backyards, and a lot of our power lines run through people's backyards, and that's where they said the majority of our issues are coming from. Because just this year, I do know they contracted Davy Tree to come out in January to trim on the utility areas. So they did make some impact this year, but obviously the backyards are the biggest problem.
So, and that would have been inaccurate, just because of 7 West, the Boulevard area.
Yeah.
Was constantly down.
Right.
And those lines do go behind the houses
Yeah.
back there, and there are a lot of trees that were impacting it, to the point that it was blowing the fusible links regular.
Right.
So, absolutely.
Wait, there was, I'll try to find it. We had some resident complaints a couple of years ago on Jefferson Point, where they have tried to get their transformers changed because there's not enough, and I might be wrong, it's not enough power, or it's not consistently where they're old. And they haven't gotten to the point of justifying them changing it, so they keep saying no. Could you talk about that again for some of this?
That is gonna be one of the topics that will be in our discussion, most definitely. Because just like our infrastructure is old, a lot of it here is old for them as well. Even at the point of COVID, when that was going on, they had a hard time of getting their spec products. So they were getting stuff in to make it work and moving forward with that stuff. And one of our residents who does inspections for First Energy has mentioned that that's something that they're going to have to look at getting taken care of in the future. So it is a concern.
Okay. As long as you're mentioning that when you're meeting with them.
Yep. Anything else?
What about running them underground? Is that?
So, is it doable? Anything is doable. The dollars is what's going to be the impact. Typically, and I'm just going from experience that I have, is that if they're going to put stuff in the ground, they want to do it at the same time the other infrastructure is going. It makes it a lot easier and a lot cleaner, just for the aspect of ease of putting it in.
Yeah.
With directional.
One time.
Yep. But now with directional boring, it makes it a little bit easier, but now you're talking bigger dollars because you got more impacts that you're trying to avoid. So, yeah.
And it also deals with the power making going from the road to the house, which would be the responsibility of the homeowner. And
Yeah.
that is, I can tell you that that's over $1,000, couple thousand.
And we don't have an ordinance saying that they need to have so-and-so clearance of their lines, right? We don't have anything that says.
Yeah, but again, that's the power company's responsibility, not the homeowner.
Within the utility right away.
Changed, so it needs to be-
It needs to be looked at.
Was that a
It
financial
is.
choice for the power company? Is that a financial choice for the power company?
I think it was.
I believe it is.
But our
And
rates are going up.
the aspect of liability would probably be the biggest one, because I'll be the first one to say it, I do have one tree on my corner that is healthy, very healthy, but it kind of looks like a rainbow. So something that we're gonna have to, take down. And the only reason I had to take it down is because of what Bob said that.
It's perching.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, no.
Hiring someone to take that down is gonna be a couple $1,000, easy. So,
What's that?
big tree. Hiring someone to take a big tree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
And you're not gonna
it's
find
all money.
In,
You're not
in
gonna
the
find
same
an
vein,
average
subject wise,
individual doing it. It's
Uh,
going to be a company.
are we gonna help clean up the corner of Morningstar and Flame Lake there? And would that not be a good use for this chipper? I know it's not our property and not our problem, but at the same time, it's an eyesore. And it's laying on the guy's property that the tree didn't come from his property.
Yeah, so I would agree that it's something that we could address, getting the brush that's there removed. I know the guys were out a week and a half ago, cleaned up a lot of the debris on the roads, but
But it happened again.
yeah, so, I mean, that's something that,
Yeah.
We can address and clean up in the right of way, but if we start overstepping and going into people's properties, then we're gonna be expected to do everybody's properties, and we don't do that.
Well,
But I agree that in the right of way, we could clean that up to try to
and
assist.
it is on one of our roads,
right,
so.
it's on the corner of two of our roads.
Yeah.
We drive by it every day.
A number of communities offer during situations like this, if the residents take their down branches, et cetera, and cut them at certain lengths and put them near the road, that they can take them. Okay, now, the reason I say that is you'll say we have our compost bin. Problem is, you need a vehicle to put them in, and many of our residents don't have trucks. Have we ever given, I mean, consideration to that?
Yes. There has been consideration, there has been talks about it, but we're talking years ago. And I think it's probably gonna be a discussion that we have, coming forward with, hearing what the illuminating company has to say, that something that council will have to look at.
We're, also just a month away from the cleanup day. May 2nd, sorry, May
Yep.
2nd.
That's,
Are we all set?
Or meeting.
This weekend is the free clinic, the free healthcare clinic at
Ram.
RAM, this weekend at Lakeside High School for free health medical care. Just get it out there.
you mean the non-existent Lakeside
Are
High
we still
School?
in new business?
Yeah, we're still under,
I don't remember having the council officially move or change our meeting time for our meeting that conflicts with the,
It's in the,
It's in there that we go the day
It's
after.
in our rules.
oh, but now, is that going to affect in no time? A month from now, yeah, it does, because elections,
May 3rd. No, the 5th.
Yeah.
Or 5th.
so this is April, so it won't make it. So we have, to-
Wait,
We waived all of that.
It's not declared an emergency.
it's not declared an emergency. So we have to have a date.
I gave him the best shot.
Oh, and
So we need to, resolve that we're going to meet on the 6th of May instead of the 5th. So, right, Cinco de Mayo,
May 6th. Everybody in agreement with that?
7 p.m., or well, it'll be 6 p.m.
it would be 6 p.m.
Yep.
I move that we move our meeting date from May 5th at 6 p.m. to May 6th at 6 p.m.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Megan Clark,
Megan's here. Oh,
Work, I don't think I can switch, okay.
Call an excused absence.
Yes,
Bob Cook. Yes. Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Munich,
yes,
Gary Meehan,
Yes,
Joyce Mesbit?
Yes.
Mark, would you please send out new?
I sure will. Just for the record, I will not be at that meeting, but I'll make sure you have everything you need for it.
I think we'll do a rehearsal with the system over there, Mark, between Kevin and I.
Sure.
Well, and I'll do it that Saturday.
Yeah.
Before.
Okay.
2 weeks.
I think that was about it. Bills for review.
I have a couple of questions on them, and I kind of think I know the answer, but I want to be sure on. On the laptop computers, there's 1, 2, 3 different that all say the same thing, but different dollar amounts. Is that different computers? And
Which one? So you're looking at the Lenovo laptop?
yes, it says February service agreement, March monthly service agreement, and it's in 3 different places.
Yeah, so that's one giant payment with 3 different payment or invoices in it, basically. That's why it shows the different ones here.
I'm confused as why that's not combined if it's in one invoice.
The system, whenever I pull it out, basically separates it by the invoice I put in there, even though it's one payment to them. So it's one check, but it's 3 different invoices.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different departments or different line items, so it splits it that way.
I was just curious because it's all worded the same. so-
Yeah, yeah.
And the Mark's radios, 135 and 140.
Yes, those are for cheap. Those are actually invoices from 2025 that they never received payment for.
And it says amount 275, but so again, it's a 2 different invoices
Yes.
with the same invoice number or same account code.
Yeah,
Okay, and then we got $1,000 deductible for law enforcement claim.
yes.
What claim did we have with $1,000?
Well, that's the deductible for the claim.
Oh, deductible for the insurance?
Yes.
Okay, then,
Correct. So this is what we owe the insurance company for the deductible of the claim itself for the legally services, basically.
okay.
from a
could
prior
we
year.
Kind of
So we
But
don't know
make
about-
that more understandable, because it's, the way it looks to me is that we had a claim and we paid $1,000 and I wasn't aware we had any claim.
Depends on what type of claim it is before council is privy to it. You know, an insurance claim or a property damage claim, I don't know. So,
Let's say, I don't need to know the details, but it'd be nice to know what, in case somebody else says, hey, why did we spend $1,000? And all I can see is that it says, yeah, deductible for what?
Very good question. I don't know if you get the rates. We don't necessarily get to know some of that stuff.
I say, I don't need to know who did what, but it'd be nice to know if somebody asks, oh gee, it was because there was an accident. Okay, from there, that's,
I don't think we really need to know the dollar amount though, technically in the end, because it's so minimal.
it's just the insurance company charging for
Yeah.
whatever claim was made. So if it was prior to Kevin, I'm not sure he can
Yeah, I just,
find that out.
I know I had the claim, I spoke with the person from HAS and they wanted the payment for the deductible for that claim. It was a law enforcement claim, is what I know about it.
I mean.
So the chief is looking like.
Everybody's looking odd, as am I. I have no clue what it's for. Only thing that I could think of would be the lawsuit that we had with, the former
Oh,
RRA member.
Mm.
There's nothing else that we've had.
So that very well could have been it. It's just, it was a vague law enforcement claim. That's all it said for it, so.
Insurance won't request that unless there's a valid claim made. So it doesn't stop a resident from asking what our insurance is if there was damage to something, and then submitting a claim on our insurance, and then if it's a valid claim, we have to pay it. You know what I mean? We can't really stop that, so, unless we challenge it, you know. It's probably related to something like that.
Okay. Executive session, anybody? Motion to adjourn?
I so moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Megan Clark,
Yes.
Bob Cook.
Yes.
Stephen Kaufman,
Yes.
Holly Marick,
Yeah.
Gary Meehan,
Yes.
Roy Smithek.
Yes.
Now I go back here.